Susu friends, and welcome to my channel. My name is Colby, but you can call me SailorCheese. If you're new here, do not fret. I am too. I am really excited to share a speed build that I did in The Sims 4. I'm really excited with how it turned out, so I figured that we can just dive right in. Let's go. So as you can see, today I decided to renovate the Streamlet single in The Sims 4, which if you have played The Sims 4, I'm sure you're familiar with. It's one of the starter homes or starter lots in Willow Creek, which is one of the worlds you get in base game. So, you know, if you get the game for free, it comes with it. And I tried to work with the existing structure that was already there. If you're familiar with it, you know it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. And I got very quickly frustrated with it and decided, no, we're not doing this. So I just completely knocked it down. You can see I've, started fleshing out the exterior, and the layout. I wanted to add a porch. I really started like fleshing out the roof and everything, and struggling with that. I was really surprised to find out that the gabled roof and the half gabled roof fit together as well as they did. I don't know if any of you have the same experience, but every time I try to put those two together, the angles don't line up. So you'll have one that's like pitched up just like a little bit more and the other one's like a little off, and so they're just like they don't kiss right, but it came out so perfectly in this. I did some funky thing here with the roof. This was we can blame this on the inspiration photo. It had this little pitch of the roof on this little outcrop that had this wooden detail to it, and I was like, oh, that's really nice, I want to add that to it. No. I was using inspiration from this image I think I got off Pinterest of just a cute greenhouse. Spoiler alert, that's what we're gonna end up with. And I wanted to make it a little bit more dynamic with the layout. The house that I used as inspiration was, I don't know how to describe it, kind of like a townhome style house. And so I kind of wanted to emanate that with a good mix of brick kind of scattered throughout, some warm tones, but with a classic white trim throughout. And you should kind of see this white trim in the door and the windows and in the railings and fence and all of that. I wanted to keep the floor plan kind of open, and so I wanted to kind of figure out how I wanted it laid out. Pick a basic stair and everything. With my limited access to the packs, the one thing that bothers me the most is the limited choices for really the big ones have to be the spandrels and the pillars, which is such a weird thing to that's my soapbox, is the spandrels and the pillars. I want the wood packs, the wood details and everything. You'll see me making some decisions throughout this process. First I started with the small window and everything. First I tried to use the small window so that I have space for it, and then I realized that the height of the walls were off. So it's no medium walls across the board. I always want them big windows. I want all the light, always. So I knew I wanted to make some sort of backyard for the house. Not necessarily for anything particular other than just who doesn't want a backyard in their house, right? Have a little private outdoor space. I really always want to have some sort of outdoor space in any build I'm making. If there's not an outdoor space, you best believe I'm putting plants, greenery. Greenery is where it's at, always. Just I try to use the same, like, I really do not like having to pick out windows, like different windows for different rooms and things like that. It's like, it's too much. So I kind of end up sticking with like the same ones, but I find one that I like and I just like, you know, I put it everywhere. I put it all over the house. So you'll see I'm just hitting E for that dropper tool, and just putting it everywhere, putting those windows everywhere. You also see me holding Alt a lot to make sure that they're like just right. So once I've got the floor plan and the windows all sorted, I knew I wanted to start like fleshing out the exterior a little bit more. I feel that I tend to approach my build one of two ways, which is outside in or inside out, depending on what the vibe is. In this case, we were going outside in, because I was using an inspiration picture for the outside. I find it so funny that of all the things as like the first item or decoration that I place in the house, I had to go like outside of windows and doors was trash. Trash is king. Trash is king always. Gotta make sure we get our trash bins. To me, when it comes to trash cans, I always want to do like a recycling bin and a trash can, because recycling is important. But it drives me crazy that there is not like a true blue trash can. Like, I don't know why, but to me, like, when I think recycling bin, I think of like those like cobalt blue or baby blue or whatever it is trash cans. So I used to, when I would build my houses, when I would play Sims, you know, a million years ago, I would always use the flooring to make like my paths, driveways, what have you, right? And it always kind of drove me crazy how it is, you know? And so recently I started playing around with the terrain paints. As you can see here, I was trying to kind of do like a single path, and I found what really works, bringing home my math skills, was to just put like a dot and a dot in the two spots that I wanted to connect, and then I just did a couple passes until I got a light, cleaned it up a little bit, and we were right as rain. I also added a little bit of dirt to kind of get a feel of where I was gonna lay out my plants and stuff. I know I wanted to cover up the whole front of the house in plants, and then I did a spots for like trees. I always like having trees in the front yard. I don't know, there's something about it. Maybe deep down I've always wanted like a big tree in my front yard, and so I give all my Sims trees in their front yards so I can. So as you can see, we're doing some little bit more landscaping, getting some bushes. I ended up going with some flowers, and it comes, I think, around this point that I realized that I had been doing this entire build without my my little cheats, the BB move objects and BB enable free builds. This path, moving on, this path in front of the house, I would have to say was also one of my prouder moments. So as you can see here, I just went ahead into the build mode, into like where all the trees are and everything and the rocks, and I just kind of grabbed, honestly, without too much rhyme or reason, just grabbed some rocks, and I used the left bracket key to size them down twice. Yeah, just placed them using the Alt key. I also rotated them using the greater than signs, these guys, the little alligators, to rotate them, the earth, so I can kind of position it. I wanted the inside of the path to be like the smooth, flat parts of the rock, where little pebbles and like points and stuff that were sticking out would be like more like out into like the plants and grass and stuff. This is also one of those great examples where from one angle it will look okay, it'll look, if not good, and then you'll turn it and it will not be. This is also one of those instances of me doing something and immediately covering it up. I put that grass and then wanted to continue the hedge, and oh, there's no grass. The grass is gone. So I just pulled that back out. I started working on the backyard. I wanted to make it like a cute little cozy, like, you know, like a nice place where you could do just about anything. You know, nice place to have, you know, your breakfast outside in the sunshine, have your morning coffee, a nice little tan, a little garden plot, all that jazz. I recently discovered this round table that's in base game, and yeah, I don't know why I never knew it was there. I think because when you look, because you know how like it gives you like the images, like the examples of the tables. For that one, it's like a neon teal color, and I see that and I'm like, brother, ugh. But again, like, check the swatches, like go through the colors, like go through all of them, because there are surprising gems in a lot of these base game items that for the longest time, I've been discouraged. The other thing that I did in this backyard that I was really happy about, going back to the terrain paint, was that I found that like when you go over, you know, because sometimes it's hard to get the opacity right on some of the terrain paint, and it just kind of feels like really, like almost like cake face, you know, cake face vibes. So I found that if you take the eraser and you turn the softness all the way up, and then kind of like whoop, on top of it, it kind of gives this nice like blend of it. So this time around with the kitchen, I kind of did something a little bit differently. Normally, I will pick a cabinet, like a countertop that I really like, and I'll place them out where like kind of the general idea. But in this case, I found I have such a limited space that it would make more sense to start with like the big appliances first. So I started with my fridge and my stove. I think this was also one of my more unhinged moments in building The Sims, which was building it in the dark. I don't know why I felt like I didn't need lights, but I was very convinced that I could do this without having to put the lights in the kitchen. And I did do it. I got the general layout with the kitchen. I know I wanted it to kind of be sectioned off a little bit from the rest of the house, and so this is where I started to mess around with the floor a little bit. I got this little quarter tile. I kid you not, every time I am doing this, I don't remember what it is. I don't remember what it is. Thankfully, when you like mouse over on the floor, it'll tell you like how to do it. It's Control F. You want to press Control F, and then it'll give you this little quarter tile that you could just move in position. And then once you have that layout done, if you pick whatever floor you want and then hold Shift, it will fill up that entire weird floor plan that you've designed for yourself. It's really funny watching this kitchen being designed and then seeing how the rest of the house turns out, because it is probably the most basic room in the entire house, which is kind of strange for me. I love kitchens. I love kitchens. I love really nice, dark, gloomy, lots of windows kind of kitchens. I love any kind of wood texture, like walls, floors, bookshelves, tables, anything that has like a texture to the wood, even if it's like a destroyed texture, where it's like got the little knot marks or the cracks or the wear. Oh, I love it. I love it. It's like a story without having to tell a story, you know? Oh, hello. Hi, Nichta. I think I have tree frogs behind me on the windows. Oh yeah, we got a tree frog on the window. I had a lot of fun with the dining room, having this like nice cozy little open dining room. We kind of stuck with these like darker colors, a little bit moodier, more blues, more greens, that kind of thing. And then it started taking a life of its own. This room ended up being probably the most decorated or filled room. I wanted to do a bench seating, like right when you walk in to be a bench, but I don't have one. I don't have one that I can use in this build. So we just opted for a full table, full set, chairs all around. Base game has this really nice like palm fronds kind of wallpaper that I really love. It has a lot of good swatches with some neutral, like plain options as well, just like no pattern. My biggest qualm with it though is that there is not a matching option for a lot of them. Like, you'll have one where like the pink is the same as like the print on here, but then the woods are different. See, I kind of started, I don't know if I regret covering up the bay window. I wish there was a way where you could clutter the bay windows. I think that's truly what my soul needs in The Sims. So if you hear me and you're out there, please let me clutter the bay windows. Let me climb into the bay windows. I want to make a little bed in the bay window. Yeah, that's what I want. Oh my gosh, did you see that? The little belly? The little belly? Look at the little guy. He's just so cute. He's on my window. I'm in Florida, so a lot of rain. And I have like a pond in my backyard. And so we have like this entire family of tree frogs that are everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. It's really fun at night, especially when they start all screaming or singing, I guess. And you can just hear it through the walls, through the windows, through the doors. But these guys in particular, there's like, I don't know, there's like a whole mess of bugs that are like back here in the back of my house. And these guys, it's like an all-you-can-eat buffet. And for my cats, it's a free show, free game. It's like those what is it, like those games where you can like smush the bugs, but in real life they just swat at the frogs all day. So back to the build, I started moving on to the living room. I wanted to kind of keep those like blues and green tones that I really enjoyed in the dining room, and they kind of started taking a life of its own in here. I ended up going pretty green, pretty blue. I'm just realizing, watching this video back and recording this for it, that I just realized that I went through all the trouble of picking this colorful, super cute tile for the kitchen, and in the attempt of painting the entire rest of the downstairs, I ended up painting the kitchen too. And I don't know why I didn't realize it until now. Okay, I guess the room is blue. The house is blue. It's a blue-green house. It's a teal house. That's what it is. It's a teal house. Yeah. I wanted to get the bathroom done as soon as possible. I don't know about you, but I find building and designing bathrooms in The Sims to be the worst. It bores me to tears. It's like, okay, boom, I put a wall between the shower and the toilet. Maybe I'll get a little fun with the sink and the counters. I'll start getting fun with the sink and the counters, and then I'll start getting annoyed with it. This time ended up coming out okay. Like, it didn't fight me so much. You can see I'm moving these up, and that's using the 9 key. You just press the 9 key to raise, and the 0 to lower things. Helps to get them nice and level. I really love the shower bathtub combo that comes with base game. I just really wish that they had given us a tile that matches, because it makes it physically impossible to have it continue on throughout the rest of the bathroom. I can understand how some people might want just like, I don't know, like the lower half, like the part of the shower with the tile, but something to me, like, it makes more sense. It feels more finished when the tiles, like, to the ceiling or to the whole room, you know? Moved on to the bedroom. I wanted, again, stick with that same blue-green theme. I ended up with a, kind of like a crazy, big, weird layout for a bedroom, but since this was a singlet, I couldn't justify adding an extra bedroom, so I figured this works out perfectly. Like, there's no office space or nothing, so we'll just give them, like, you know, like a nice little, you know, study place over it. So as you can see, I went ahead and put a little desk and, you know, some basic little art and stuff, just trying to follow the theme, the color, and everything like that. Nothing too crazy. I'd like to think that I go into these builds with, like, some sort of, like, story or background, but I usually, and most of the time, am so excited to start playing that I don't. So it's just, like, random clutter and junk and things. So I only have, at the moment, base game and werewolves. I don't have any of the other packs right now, so this is, we're working with what we got, and you'll be seeing that in a lot of my builds, probably for a little while, until I can, like, spoil myself a little bit, you know? I ended up being really happy with how this house turned out. I wanted to slap a couple more details, you know, outside bench and everything like that. But it ended up being super cute. A little 1-bedroom, 1-bath. I don't know if you caught that little trick I did with the cup. If you're not familiar with that, that is by placing it on the table and then removing the table, it leaves the cup kind of just, like, floating in the air there, and then you can click on it while holding Alt to drag it in position. It usually takes a few tries to, like, kind of get the hang of it and everything like that, but after a while you can kind of just get it where you want it. I ended up doing the same thing with the plant there. As you can see, it followed and I dragged it back, had it floating in the air for a while. I see a lot of people try to do the same trick with, like, a shelf, like one of those hanging shelves and stuff. I can't tell you how they do that. I have not been able to get that to work for myself. I ended up fixing the hole in the roof with a chimney, and I also realized right at the butt end, that I didn't change the roof color at all. So I ended up choosing a chimney that matched the brick throughout the rest of the house, and yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Well, that was so much fun, and I can't thank you enough for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. It would mean the world if you can leave a comment or a like. If you have any tips, tricks, you know, ideas, anything like that, feel free to leave a comment there, and I'll be sure to check it out. I'm looking forward to the next time you join me and the next video I have in store for you. I'll see you next time. Bye.